this morning.
Lucky you.
Not only do I not know names, I think I got face blindness. I did not know it was her. I didn't.
Yeah, but it's cold outside. Was she in like a beanie, hood?
But her face is still there. Her face is her face.
Yeah, but when you take hair off of somebody, it really challenges.
Hey, yes.
Or someone changes their hair.
Yes.
It
bangs especially.
Really throws
if you ever put bangs on, like I'll never recognize you. I'll never recognize you.
You're a different person. Hands down.
So yeah, she was right up on me before I was like, oh, that face is familiar. Oh. What was the song?
What was the song? I was just listening to it and I said, it's gonna be a good song. Oh my gosh, my brain has been erased.
What?
CJ, I listened to a whole song on the way in here and I have no recollection of what it was. Wow, is that not a bad start to a show?
How can you not remember the song?
I don't know. Hold on.
You don't remember songs or song lyrics?
Oh, yes. Well, that's because I'm not like a huge Grateful Dead fan, but I was listening to Sugar Magnolia in honor of Bob Weir dying from the Grateful Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And so I listened to that on the way in.
Okay.
But I'm not a Deadhead. I respect the game.
Okay. Is that the only Dead song you got?
That was the only one in my library,
okay.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
There we go. R.I.P.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Got too much rest yesterday?
No.
Really?
I ended up staying up too late watching that stupid game. And I wasn't even going to watch the game.
Oh, so let me tell you. I did not have that thought. I was like, oh, I'm exhausted. I'm going to sleep. Woke up like I do at like 1:30. It's like, okay, time to watch the game. I recorded it. Once again, I recorded the effing Manning cast.
Oh, no. Not again.
And this time I was like, no, I really want to watch this game.
Wasn't Ben on it?
Ben Roethlisberger and J.J. Watt. It's like, I really want to watch this.
That's too bad.
And I watched it.
What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, January 13th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass coming up on today's show. The Grizzlies are in Berlin. They've already practiced today. We will hear from Tomas Isalo on the latest on Ja Morant's availability. Was that the end for Aaron Rodgers last night? Texans beat the Steelers. Pittsburgh's drought lives on. We'll get into the final wildcard game. Teresa Walker is going to join us on a Tuesday. We will chat with her about the Grizzlies, NFL playoffs, college football national championship. It's a Tuesday, so that means Will Coleman, former Memphis Tiger, will also join us. We'll talk to him about the state of the Tigers coming off of their disappointing loss to FAU. We'll do some TV Tuesday. I am chomping at the bit to talk about heated rivalry. We'll also do a full rundown of the Golden Globes. I binged the whole show yesterday. I sure did. It is a Tuesday. You know what we say. The standard is the standard. Standard is the standard. And heated rivalry is. Oh! What a show.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. One exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tough
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Grizz Nation, Friday night just got a whole lot better. Introducing Buckets and Brews, the ultimate way to tip off your weekend. Every Friday this season, grab a terrace-level ticket to the Grizz game and 2 12-ounce Miller Lights for just $55. Get great seats, cold brews, and Grizzlies basketball. It's everything you need to start your weekend off right. So get the deal that's too cold to hold. Go to Grizzlies.com/Friday to lock in your tickets today.
For the sunshine, gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this feeling. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, have it my way. I deserve this feeling. This is my
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I hope your week is off to a great start. Nothing like waking up and seeing Memphis Grizzlies practice footage before even having my first cup of coffee this morning. I forgot, it's 7 hours ahead of time in Berlin. So the Grizzlies have practiced. The Grizzlies did arrive in Berlin yesterday. The snow falling from the sky as they made their arrival. Yes, Morant is there. Everybody had all eyes on that bus footage as everyone got off one by one. Ja is in Berlin. And to my understanding, Morant did go through practice today. Now, the game is obviously not until Thursday, the first of 2 games against the Orlando Magic. There are a ton of sponsorship events, NBA Cares activities, so the next 2 days will be pretty full. Big chance for the Grizzlies to expand their brand. CJ, you know, it's kind of funny. I realized this morning, as it really finally struck me that the Grizzlies are playing a basketball game in Berlin, Germany this week, along with a game in London. It hadn't really hit me how cool it is that the Grizzlies were chosen as one of the 2 teams to play in Europe for this venture with the Orlando Magic. Like, the announcement came obviously with the understanding that it was going to mean no MLK Day game this year. And so that was an instant bummer. Like that hampered my excitement a bit and still does. Like, it really bums me out that there's no MLK Day game coming up on Monday. This time last year, we had the Cheryl Miller on the show as part of the MLK Day Symposium. The Symposium is always one of my favorite days of the year. So that's been hard to grapple with. But then we also get close to the Europe trip finally becoming real. And all the attention is turned to the potential Morant trade. So that took up a lot of thought. And then finally, it struck me yesterday as they got off the bus in Berlin and the NBA is tweeting out Jaren Jackson Jr. saying we've made it to Berlin, that the Memphis Grizzlies get to play one of the biggest regular season games. And I get it from a competition standpoint, like Grizzlies Magic isn't going to be the ultimate needle mover. Right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are in 10th in the Western Conference. But in terms of 2 teams that were chosen to represent the NBA in their continued global outreach, that's pretty dang cool. And from the brand standpoint of Memphis, the Grizzlies, all of the above, that is an exciting thing. Now, obviously, all of the attention, or a large amount of the attention, will be on Morant and if he will play, and everyone will be tracking his every move. And Coach Tomas Isolo was asked this morning. The Grizzlies did their first international availability, and let me make sure I get this 100% right, because we heard from Tomas Isolo and then the players who were selected to speak today were Jaren Jackson Jr., Cam Spencer, Santi Aldama, and Jalen Wells. So you had Coach Isolo, Jaren, Cam, Santi, Jalen. Ja was not made available to the media circuit today, despite practicing with the team this morning. And I have already seen, like when I got on my social media accounts this morning, there were people saying, Ja Morant's going to play in Berlin. And then there were other people saying, Ja Morant's not going to play in Berlin. And both of those conclusions were made from the same comment from Tomas Isolo talking about if Ja Morant is going to play in Berlin. So we have the video of Coach Isolo. This is it in his words from his mouth when asked, will Ja Morant be available for the Berlin game? Take a listen.
Yeah, he's progressing in the practices. He's already able to do a lot of the parts in practice, so looking good, the progress.
Is there pressure on him to play given what this means in the stage here and he is a star player?
I don't think there's pressure from that side. I think it's more that doesn't match the timeline, that everybody feels comfortable with him being out there and being 100%.
You hear that. What's your take?
That is coach speak.
Yeah.
I'm not,
what else do you expect?
Like, that's just coach speak. That's what we do. That's you ask a coach a question, he hits you with a bunch of coach speak. Hey, coach, is he playing? He's progressing.
He is progressing.
You know, it's similar to the first game of the season in college football when it's okay, coach, let's see your starting lineup. And the starting quarterback is this guy or this guy or this guy or that guy, and it's that way down the entire roster. Like, oh, okay. You're playing games with us here. You just don't want us to know. And it makes sense from a strategical standpoint because you've got a team you're going up against in the Magic who they've landed. They've got to prepare to play you. So preparing for the Grizzlies with Ja Morant versus preparing for the Grizzlies without Ja Morant, those are two different tasks and two different things. You don't want to show your hand. I understand that. I do also understand why fans are thirsting for, hey, is this dude going to play? Will we ever see him in a Grizzlies uniform again? I can hit you with some real logical stuff like, let's sit down and wait and let's watch it all together when it happens.
Oh, CJ, that's 2 days away.
But
Come on.
We can't do that.
We want to 2.5 days.
We got to be out here recklessly speculating. So let's take that, dissect that, not just what he says, but how he says it. He wasn't excited when he was talking. His eyes looked a little glossy. They looked a little dead inside. So if you want to take...
he was on a 9-hour flight after the Grizzlies game.
Jessica, how dare you bring logic into this? What are you talking about here?
They did at least probably travel in a nice plane where they probably had layback seats.
A 9-hour flight for them, to your point, is not a 9-hour flight for us.
I mean, a flight is a flight. You're also operating.
That's
you know
like,
how your body clock is. When's the last time? When you went to Africa, what was the time difference there?
A lot.
Yeah, and doesn't it completely mess with your... How long did you have jet lag?
But if I'm sitting in a jet and I can't stand up and my
if
knees,
I'm sitting like
and my
this.
knees are like this the entire flight, I can't lean back
And they're sitting like this.
And they're kicking it. They're fine. They're eating gourmet meals. They got heated seats.
Heated seats.
They're
That'd
good.
Be incredible.
They probably got a basketball goal. They're running drills and things of that nature. They're fine. But yeah, Ja Morant play maybe. Who knows?
Recklessly speculating here.
Oh.
Put on your reckless speculation cap.
All right.
If you had to say right now, today, I'll do this again tomorrow and we'll see if there's any change. And I'll do this again on Thursday if we don't have an official answer. And I do think there is. It's funny because in the midst of all of this, there is gamesmanship. They are games. Like Drew Hill had a piece up at the Daily Memphian about how both teams were pretty tight-lipped with all of their travel plans because there's gamesmanship.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to go win 2 games in Europe, disrupting their entire normal schedule, trying to make it as normal as possible. And if you were setting up for a game and you remove the trade deadline piece out of it, and it was simply a matter of, is Ja Morant coming back from injury for an important game, you would wait until the last possible second to say, yep, he's good to go, or no, he's going to have to stay out a bit, because you want the Magic to be on their toes, not be able to prepare for multiple days of what that would look like. But because of the situation, it's like, can someone just tell us if he's going to play? Do you think he plays 1, 2, or none?
Oh, wow.
You're saying it right now.
Oh, wow.
1, 2, or none?
Throw the grenade, Doug.
It's not a grenade.
It is a grenade.
It's just a hypothetical question.
But you know how thirsty people are for this type of information? Somebody will grab hold of this and be like, CJ said.
No, they will not.
Yes, they will.
No, they won't.
They all come to me for their Grizzlies knowledge.
Okay. Noted Grizzlies insider, CJ Hurt.
I'll say
you want me to go first?
If he's healthy, off the strength of professionalism, he'll play 2 games.
Okay.
Just professionalism. Let's go out there and play. The only reason the Grizzlies are over there is because Ja Morant is an international star. He's an international star that
he is the reason the Grizzlies are in.
We can talk all we want to about faces of the league and faces of the NBA, faces for their individual teams. Excuse me. Ja Morant is absolutely one of those things, as is evident by the fact that the Grizzlies are in Germany and in London. We saw what happened when he went on the Asia tour last summer. You've traveled overseas. I've traveled to various parts of this country since Ja Morant has been a Grizzly. Those Grizzlies Ja jerseys are out and about everywhere. And then, so you got to do it for the NBA. If you can't do it for the franchise, if you are so enraged by what the franchise has done you and you think they've done you wrong, you got to go out there and do it for the NBA and for the league, for the health of the league, right? 1. 2, got to go out there and do it for the health of Nike also, right? Like, you're overseas. Nike thinks, hey, we can make money off of these shoes. We are making money off of these shoes. Go out there, be personable, hit up some of these events, and then play. Because that's what people are here to see.
If healthy.
Go out there and give us a couple of those Ja Morant highlights. Give us a couple of those Ja games so we can throw it up on social and drive up more support and purchases for the Jaws. And then
the reminder of who he is as a player.
Sure.
Okay. It's true.
Yeah,
if you're trying to...
That's him as an individual. And so
give a collective reminder of what you can do.
3 different reasons. For 3 different things. For the NBA, for Nike, and for himself. You're right. Go out there and show what you got. How can you, if people are butting heads, you don't want to just go out there and completely say F the system, F the team. I'm gonna go out there and do what I'm gonna do. Right. But yeah, go out there and play at a high level and remind people why you're one of the better players in the NBA, one of the best players in the league.
We will see. We have a long time. My answer was 1, by the way.
Okay.
But that's the politician answer. Feels like the safe answer. 0 and 2 are both extremes. 1 feels
2 is
possible.
Extreme? If healthy?
2. I mean, given everything that's happened.
Man, go out there.
I would like to see both.
At a certain point, you got to look at dollar signs at a certain point. Don't you?
Yeah.
You got to say, hey, I'm approaching international stardom. I'm an international star. I'm approaching international superstardom. I'm approaching what Messi and what's my other guy's name? Who's the other one? Jacob Ronaldo. I'm approaching them. I'm approaching soccer players. I'm what
those
Kobe
guys are
was.
Doing my celebrations across the world.
I'm approaching that. I'm what LeBron is. I'm what Kobe was. I'm what Jordan was. I'm getting close to those dudes. I gotta, when we go international, I gotta go out there and show what I am, show what I'm capable of doing. I have to.
Some of it's, in the words of Rihanna, all I see is dollar signs. But I think it's more, or equal parts, this is who I am, this is who I can be, this is how I can play, and all of that phases together. And so it will be...
Not the Rihanna song I thought you were going with there.
Which one did you think I was going
Bitch
with?
better have my money.
Also that.
Yeah. Have my money, Nike.
We're apparently getting a new Rihanna album this year. 2026 could be great. Yeah, real quick, let's show. Jaren Jackson Jr. was asked about it because I do think one piece of this is maybe one last chance. This is where you get into the emotions of it, but an opportunity for these guys to all play together again over in Berlin. Who knows what the future holds, but if Ja is to play, it's another chance for Jaren and Ja to play together, and those are 2 players who have now played for years together and have grown in their relationship. So this was Jaren talking about not taking any moment for granted when it comes to playing with Ja right now.
I mean, since he's been in the league, I love when he's on the court. He makes the game easier for me and for all of us. Like, you see what he can do when he's on the court. He's special. I don't think, anyone can stay in front of him. And when he has a head of steam, no one can jump higher than him. I mean, he just reads the floor well. There's so many things you can think of when you talk about the great point guard, so many attributes he has. It goes without saying. I want him in every game. He makes the game easier for me. It's a blessing, but I don't take that for granted, I understand everything.
Had really good things to say. We didn't really get into it yesterday, but following the Thunder game on Friday night, where, he talked about how they have grown up together and how you obviously understand the business, but you've grown up in this public eye and you understand what that means, but it's also somebody who he sees as his brother. This is going to play out how it plays out, but that's always going to be his guy. We heard the same thing from Dylan Brooks when he was in town. These players have maintained relationships with one another. We'll see it with Desmond Bain when he's on the other side of the court and how he has talked about his continued friendship with those guys. So it is an opportunity to maybe see those players together one last time. We'll continue the Grizzlies conversation with Teresa. I did want to quickly, before we get to her, get into the Monday Night Football game from last night, the final of the Wild Card Weekend Wild Card games. Wake up to Grizzlies news, went to sleep watching maybe the end of Aaron Rodgers. Full transparency, I binged all of Heated Rivalry last night, and I missed the beginning of Steelers-Texans, and not just really the beginning. I missed a large portion of it to the point where I think it was 10-6 at the time, and I was on the phone with my husband, and I said, should I watch this or should I just go to bed? And at first he was like, you know what, it's pretty boring. It's the Texans defense. I've never had a 10-6 game feel more like it should be a 21-6 game based on how the Texans defense is playing. CJ Stroud has fumbled it like 4 times, lost a couple of those. But you know what? You should turn it on just to go ahead and see what Aaron Rodgers is going through. And I kid you not, I turned it on 30 seconds before the strip sack for the touchdown. And getting to see that play told me everything I needed to know about that game. The game was 10-6. It was technically still a game. But the Texans defense on Aaron Rodgers last night is so perfectly displayed in this play with Will Anderson smacking the ball out of his hands and that Sheldon Rankins just like picking the ball and jogging into the end zone. Just a nice little trot into the end zone after snatching the soul out of Aaron Rodgers' body. Like, Aaron Rodgers looked like those kids from Weapons, like when they got to Aunt Gladys. So Aaron Rodgers is Aunt Gladys, and the Texans defense is the kids from Weapons, and they are rushing at her, and they are tearing her apart and leaving her in their wake. Like, that's how it felt watching Aaron Rodgers play against the Texans yesterday. Somebody had to score in this game. Didn't feel like it was going to be the Texans offense. So the Texans defense comes up with not 1 but 2 touchdowns last night. Aaron Rodgers also threw a pick 6 to end the game, if that is the end. It's a tough way to go out for Aaron Rodgers. But, like, would you want to play football again if you were Aaron Rodgers after going through that game last night?
Listen, I would have hung it up after Green Bay.
Fair.
I wouldn't have bopped about here. 1, 2, that's a Texans D with 3 All-Pros, not 3 Pro Bowlers. We give that out like candy. They've got 3 All-Pros. Yeah. They got 2 first-team All-Pros in Stingley and in Anderson Jr., and then you add to it Hunter, who's a second-team All-Pro. You've got 2 All-Pros on that defensive front, and they were getting, to the Steelers' credit, they blocked about as well as you could. They just get no separation on their routes. They don't. You have to be perfect when you throw the football because there's not a whole lot of space there if you're Aaron Rodgers. I watched the game, and I turned it off after that. So I was like, okay, 6-10, a fluky play happened, and the Steelers are up, so I'm going to keep watching this. But if they score again, if the Texans can score again, God forbid a touchdown, I am out because there's no way the Steelers are keeping up with this. So I turned it off after that strip sack, fumble recovery for a touchdown. Wake up this morning, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be 17-6, maybe like 9-20 or something like that. 30. That happened. It was like 5-6 minutes left. The Texans got 30 points after not scoring at all. Yes. To your point, the Texans, man, they blew a bunch of opportunities offensively. Put themselves in terrible position. Thank God they got that defense. They couldn't snap the ball at all. CJ Stroud is bobbling the snap from shotgun. You got the center snapping the ball prematurely. They got cute. They decided to try and do a flea flicker for some odd reason in the first quarter. That resulted in a fumble. CJ Stroud threw an inexplicable interception in the red zone at the start of the second half, if I remember correctly. It was just bad offensive football by the Texans, but thank God they've got that defense. And we've talked about teams like this all season, where it is, okay, that offense leaves something to be desired, but oh boy, that defense that the Broncos have, or that defense that the Seahawks have, or the defense that we just saw that the Texans have, they are really, really good. Now, you can get away with playing the Steelers like that offensively and beating them. God forbid you play the team they got next, the Patriots, right? Like Mike Vrabel's team and Drake May, a potential MVP, not going to give you those opportunities.
Right.
Let's say you do beat Drake May. That means you're left with the Bills, who's got that dude on the field.
Or the Broncos.
Or the
who have
Broncos.
their version of great
And
defense.
so at a
questionable
certain point, man, you've got to clean it up offensively. And Nico Collins ended up leaving with a concussion, it looked like.
That's the worst part. That's where I hate that there was a game on Monday night.
Yeah.
Because I think the Texans play Sunday at least, but it's still a short week, and every day matters when it's a concussion. I don't understand why they didn't just do 3 games on Saturday and 3 games on Sunday once you got to Wild Card Weekend. But
What do you
gotta
mean you didn't understand?
All I see is dollar signs.
There you
All
go.
I see is dollar signs. No, I did find myself. There was a quote about the Texans defense that I remembered from, I think it was the game they played the week of Christmas. And it was a quote from their safety, Jalen Petre. And he said, God is the greatest, but the Texans defense might be second. God is the greatest, but the Texans defense might be second. And I think Aaron Rodgers might say the same thing. I'm just like, no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, because he is truly one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've seen of this generation of quarterback play. And he is still, I think, one of the best 32 quarterbacks available. If he wants to continue to play, he can. I just don't understand why you would after experiencing that last night. Like, that is something I would never want to experience ever again in my life. Ever.
What do you do if you're the Steelers organization with Mike Tomlin?
Let's ask Teresa Walker that, because she's waiting to come on. It's a great question. We'll chat with Teresa about Ja, the Grizzlies, NFL playoffs, what the Steelers do with Mike Tomlin, all that and more after a quick break.
Who have you leaned on the most in terms of asking questions? Because there's always a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the rookie that's annoying people.
Exactly.
On the other hand, you want to be a sponge.
You can ask any of the guys. Like, I'm asking, it'd be random games where I'm sitting next to Ty or Ja or Scotty, and I'm like, hey, bro, what would you have done right there? Like, what do you feel like you would have did in that situation? Boom, 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 I probably would have did this. I'm like, all right, cool, I got it locked in now.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike? 2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night. Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation. It'll be like 9 kings and a queen. The next level starts now.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
How are you able to release and have an instrumental song become a huge deal?
And I forget who the disc jockey was, but he put the wrong side on. He put the Green Onions by mistake and played the B side instead of the A side.
No!
And that's when the change happened. These people started to call the station and say, play that song again.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The only thing better than Saturday Night Hoops is when it comes with an exclusive Grizz hoodie. Every Saturday this season, $60 gets you a Grizzlies ticket and a limited edition Grizzlies hoodie. 4 different hoodie designs dropping across 4 Saturday games. Not sold anywhere else. Don't miss your shot to collect all 4 designs. Grab your tickets and gear up now at grizzlies.com/Saturday.
before. You're giving.
Welcome back, welcome back. A special guest on a Tuesday. Our normal guest, Mike Wallace, is going to be on with Gary Parrish today. Mike Wallace will join us on Thursday, which will be the Grizzlies game day in Berlin. He is in Berlin doing live on the ground reporting. But Teresa Walker, our normal Thursday guest, was nice enough to change her schedule around and come on today. So we throw up consensual heart hands always to Teresa Walker. Teresa, this is our first time catching up with you since everything transpired with the Grizzlies and Ja Morant and Ja being on the trade block for the first time per a tweet from Shams Charania that came out on Friday. And that's been the domination of the Grizzlies conversation ever since, even as they do travel for this Europe trip. What was your initial reaction to it? And as you've thought on it for a couple of days, how has it panned out?
Well, not surprised, because my man in Memphis, who has a finger on the pulse down there in Memphis for me. He had preparation written on him being traded on Friday morning. I had that in my inbox at 9 a.m. on Friday. So let's face it, the vibes are there, right? What's the biggest reason I think the vibes are there? He can't stay on the court. I mean, you can look at everything, new coach, trying to fit into this system, but his inability to be available for more than, I think it's 6 games at a stretch, not more than 6 games since February of March of 2023. I mean, we're nearly 3 years in. You were literally paid to play basketball in an 80, what is it, 72? My head is spinning with the hockey and everything, but you need to be able to play more than 6 games at a stretch if you're going to help your team. If you're going to be one of the highest paid players on your team, the faces of your franchise, you have to be available. And it feels like ever since they took Zach Edey, we've been waiting for this package to be unwrapped of Zach Edey and Ja Morant and Jaren and what they could do with those pieces on the court. And we're still waiting. And it's either Ja's hurt or Zach is hurt. And it's just been, and at a certain point, yeah, you've got to move on. And let's not forget, there was a 1-game suspension by the franchise early this season. And, it wasn't because, they were saying sweet nothings to each other. So there's been some underlying emotions going on down there. And when you've got that kind of friction at a certain point, it's like pro sports is business. If we can move on without you and find somebody else to do your job, we'll do it.
You bring up a great point. Pro sports is business, and you lay out the availability concerns. How do you see it from the viewpoint of it not always being that simple when it comes to a market like Memphis and a player like Ja Morant, a market that has never had a player with the superstar status that Ja brings to this city from a we've seen it this week. The Grizzlies are in Europe because Ja Morant is on this team, right? And
that's the only reason.
And his connection with Nike and Nike's commitment to him and the shoes. And we just saw it this past summer with his Asia tour and just how big of a star Ja is. And you throw in, this is a small market. There was always a natural fit between Ja and the Grizzlies. Like, it just felt like these two people were a match, or these two entities, a person and a franchise and a city, were a match made in basketball heaven. And so while you lay out like a very simple business reason why, it does get convoluted with, it's never as simple as X and Y. Like, there is a lot of nuance to this conversation. How do you add that layer in when you evaluate the ultimate decision for the Grizzlies to at least approach this time period of, hey, we're open to this actually happening?
Well, that's the thing. They don't have to make a move, okay? And part of this, I had somebody ask me, well, who do you think leaked this? And it's like, well, if they're hearing offers from other teams, guess what? There are other teams that would like it known that Ja Morant's available, who we're trying to get him. But it all comes down to that business part. It all comes down to what somebody's willing to give. And we saw this organization get a boatload for Desmond Bane this last summer, right? Lots and lots of draft picks. And you're almost like, wow, they got that much for Desmond Bane? Doesn't that at least set a floor for what you're going to consider for Ja Morant? So part of listening to people is, it's like, I got a car I might sell. What would you offer? How much and it's like, well, no, not going to do that. So it's kind of doing the due diligence to find out what people might be interested in. And if it sends a little bit of a message that this is business, you are paid to play, and the Nike stuff is fine, but that's money going in your pocket. This Berlin exposure, this is wonderful for the franchise, but what they ultimately need, what everybody in Memphis ultimately wants, is Ja Morant on the court, making plays, even if he's not flying to the bucket, but if he's just simply passing and finding his teammates and scoring and being that closer that we know he is in the fourth quarter, then it'll all be forgotten. Well, by most people, some things you never forget. Anyone who's been in a relationship, when somebody says that, you never forget. But, you can smooth this over by being available, playing, and just reminding everybody you are Ja Morant. Because I think that's what the front office, coaches, fans certainly would love to see. And don't we think that his teammates would like to see him as well on the court helping them? I mean, they've been pulling this wagon now hard for much of the last 3 years, and he's the guy who's supposed to make it easier. That was the beauty of getting him at number 2, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player, 2-time All-Star. You need him, you want him on the court, being Ja Morant, and that would make all this go away in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I do think it would, at least for a moment, because we are a people
Yes.
of recency. What have you done for me lately?
What's next?
It would quell for at least a minute. It would settle things down. We will always have the 6 minutes in Cleveland with Ja, Jaren, and Zach. Those were beautiful times, Teresa. We will remember them. Remember them well.
And that's the thing. Look at that small sample size.
Yeah. I did want to get your take on this Grizzlies trip to Berlin, because I think sometimes it's hard for people here in America to conceptualize why these leagues are doing this, whether it be the NBA or the NFL, and you're around the NFL space so much. You've seen the growth from the European trips every year. I mean, God, it felt like the Jags were living in London there for a minute and always representing, but now you have games in Brazil and games coming up in Dublin and Spain and Berlin, and the NBA has had games in Paris. And for the Grizzlies, I mean, they haven't played overseas since a preseason game in 2007, was it? When they went over for
I'd have to hit the Google machine.
It's been a long time. But from
Yes.
your perspective, like, what would you tell fans on why this is important, why the NBA is doing this, and why it is a cool thing that the Grizzlies are one of these two teams?
Well, I remember I was at the Olympics in Paris, and I was at the men's gold medal game, and France pushed the U.S. Now, the French women absolutely pushed the U.S. and, just a few inches shy of forcing overtime in the Olympic gold medal for the women. But the interest in basketball in Europe is huge. It's all about business and marketing. Look at how many players are coming to the NBA from Europe. I mean, Jokic, Luka. I mean, on and on and on. The talent is there. So they're trying to tap into that burgeoning talent market, but it's business. They are watching basketball there, and they want to try and have basketball, the NBA, kind of a branch of Europe. And so they're mining the market. They're selling merchandise. That's the first thing. We're going to see a lot more Grizzly stuff in certain areas in Europe because of these games, and that's why Memphis sent a whole lot of business people there. It's business relationships, but it's because the interest in basketball, the not just on the court but watching it is just out the roof. And the NBA is like, we want to tap into that, because guess what? It's easier to build for the NBA to tap into the European market than it is for the NFL, because you've got to translate. The NFL's got their international pathway where players can, the Titans had a guy who was a tight end who grew up watching some games on YouTube in Germany and fell in love with the game, but he had to come here to learn how to play it. People are playing basketball now as we speak in Europe, and that's why the NBA wants to be there, and that's why they're sending more and more teams there. So for the Grizzlies to be there, it's absolutely huge for the exposure for this franchise and to build a base. I mean, Memphis, no offense, but I know the argument. You're a small market, just like Nashville is, and the more people you can get watching your team, In this day and age, it's easier thanks to the technology we have. You're about to have some people that are ready for Grizz to jump off a ladder and slam into somebody because that's going to get attention.
We got to get Whoop That Trick translated into German and see if we can get
I
that
don't know if it
played.
needs translation. Trust me, I heard lots and lots of pop songs and U.S.
Yes.
music in the stands.
When you
I was
travel
in Europe.
abroad, you realize American music dominates everything.
Yes.
American music is everywhere. Teresa, you mentioned the Titans, and I did want to get the latest on their coaching search. You shared a post with CJ and I yesterday pointing out from Mike Garofalo about waiting for John Harbaugh to finalize his interviews, but sources say he likes what he sees in the Titans. And funny enough, it was the things that you pointed out should interest someone like John Harbaugh in the Titans, which is Cam Ward, $100+ million in cap space, high picks, new stadium, their general manager. Just how much fire do you think is under this report? And is there a real opportunity for Harbaugh to be evaluating Tennessee as a potential landing spot?
Without a doubt. I mean, Diana Rossini was the first one to report that he was literally looking at tape of Jackson Dart and Cam Ward. So, for people in Las Vegas thinking, oh, they'll come to the Raiders, we're going to take Fernando Mendoza. Maybe he just wants a quarterback that's had a little bit of the newness knocked off of him and played as a rookie. So that's what's going to be interesting here. It's his decision, right? He is the guy. It feels like this entire field is being set by what John Harbaugh does and decides to do, and the rest of the NFL is just waiting. Well, they're not waiting. The Titans put out another interview request this morning. Brian Dable, I swear, it's like 18.
Yeah.
It's like, talk about casting a net. It feels like they're trolling and trawling through the ocean depths. I'm waiting for somebody to try and do it, Finding Nemo, and just break the net and get out of there. We're officially at least at 8. I'm trying to keep track of them, I promise. But they confirmed 7 on Saturday had been interviewed in person. Kevin Stefanski, Mike McCoy. God, I know I'm forgetting the other 2. But that's the thing. It's like, are you kidding me here? And now they've added Raheem Morris yesterday. So they've officially met the Rooney Rule. Vance Joseph interviewed virtually on Wednesday, the Denver defensive coordinator, and then Raheem Morris yesterday. So it's like, yeah, I literally was talking with one of his former players last night at a Predators charity event, Derek Mason. And, that's the thing. He saw Harbaugh up close, and he'd love to have Harbaugh here. Problem is, Harbaugh is in charge because, I know, CJ, you love the idea of Mike Tomlin here, but let's be honest. John Harbaugh already has the chance. He's controlling his fate. Why? And for all the talk about their, business and in sports, John Harbaugh, 18 years with the Ravens, a Super Bowl. He got a call from his owner as he's driving home, reportedly, saying, "You gone." Wow.
It's a cruel world. Teresa, obviously CJ was being semi-facetious.
I love the idea.
Proposed
I love
trade
Listen, who says
for Mike
no?
Tomlin.
Who says no to a Mike Tomlin trade?
I say no.
Give your trade.
No.
Give your trade to the people.
My trade to the people. Fine. You guys don't want to come up off of a second. We'll go a third. We'll go a third. Third to the Steelers for Mike Tomlin. Who says no?
I say no.
I will not even say what Jacob just said, but he's not happy with as a Titans fan, not thrilled with that potential trade.
You gonna get this better?
I'm with Jacob.
Yeah,
They
Teresa's
don't
with
need, the
Jacob.
Titans don't need to be giving up any draft picks.
For
They
a
are
coach.
rebuilding.
How much young talent do the Titans need? Don't they have a bunch of young talent? Isn't DK running around here as a Pro Bowler or All Pro? Isn't Cam Ward supposed to be really, really good also? Isn't there like a young tight end or something floating about up there somewhere? Isn't Spears
CJ,
in
it's
his
a
third season?
53-man roster. They
How
need
much
more
younger can they
bodies,
get?
brother.
All right, but Teresa, when I suggested that the way to go get more bodies was by trading Simmons, you're like, no, you got to keep Simmons. Although you could have flipped Simmons for a bunch of draft picks, but all right. So we don't flip Simmons for more draft picks, but we're gonna hold on to ours and not go out there and get Tomlin. All right, man.
I'm not sold on Tomlin. The ability to string together, it is amazing that he has not had a losing season. That is absolutely amazing. But you know what? There is that middle. And, Pittsburgh fans seem very, that's the thing. What do Pittsburgh fans, more importantly, what does the Pittsburgh owner Think of this. They've lost 7 straight playoff games. The last 5 by double digits. It's never been done in the NFL. So, are you that happy? Woo! Is the goal in sports to just have a not losing season? Is it to just get into the playoffs? Ooh, I was at the party. Bye.
Well,
I mean, it's the Simpsons shift.
The Titans aren't getting to the party.
I'm not on CJ's
Titans
train.
don't get into the parking lot of the party. You could be on my side.
No.
Oh, whatever.
Sometimes I have to.
4 losing seasons does not mean that the Titans have been completely wandering in the wilderness, okay? It's been 4 bad years, and they have been bad. I am not denying that. But my Facebook memories reminded me that in January of 2021, they were the #1 seed in the AFC. When was the last time that was what the Steelers did?
Yeah. If you're the Steelers, do you keep him? If you're Mike Tomlin, do you stay? I guess that's a 2-pronged question.
It is a great question. I mean, right now, if you're the Steelers, the risk you take, you have to know what you're doing personnel-wise. And that's the problem. They made so many big moves this last offseason, trading for Jalen Ramsey and DK Metcalf. And, they kind of pushed their chips to the middle of the table. And we saw what happened last night, 30-6 whipping. I mean, the Pittsburgh faithful were kind of like, oh man, they were so quiet. It was a tight game until it wasn't. And that's the problem is, they need to take a close look because that's the, CJ, you can point at the Titans being bad right now, but, I would argue that Pittsburgh is in an area where, you can tap yourself and it's like, ooh, it's like an achievement award. We got to the playoffs again. And it's just, where are you? They need to look at themselves. And, does Mike Tomlin want to continue to be there? He didn't want to talk big picture last night. I don't know how you cannot take a look at what's going on a little bit, and be thinking about the future in the back of your head. I mean, I multitask. The Pittsburgh ownership, you can take pride in it. We've only had 3 coaches forever. Well, what's it gotten you?
Several. Wait, aren't they the most Super Bowl having, second most Super Bowl having franchise? They won a Super Bowl. They won. When was the last time the Titans got to a Super Bowl, Teresa?
We're not comparing the Titans in Pittsburgh.
We're not comparing the Titans and Mike Tomlin.
Only if you want to go trade.
I moved on from the fake trade for
I'm just saying.
There's too many guys available to go trade for a guy.
Okay. All right.
Look at how many head coaches the Titans literally are interviewing. So it's like,
but all of them are interviewing because they weren't good at their last job. They got fired.
And you want them to trade for a guy who's
never had a losing season.
Yeah,
he's never had a losing season. He's gotten to the playoffs
and has lost 7 straight.
Hey, you got to get there to lose, baby.
That is true.
And his job security has been a hot topic for weeks in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Pittsburgh fans think it might be time to move on from Mike Tomlin. And guess what?
They're in the chat agreeing with you, Teresa. I want to be clear. Like, the people in the chat are on your side. Everybody but Senior, and Senior's a different dude.
And yes, there is the caveat that, you can trade no losing records, getting to the playoffs. But guess what? It's a muddy middle. And at a certain point, you have to are you trying to win? Or are you just happy with where you're at? And that's what it feels like for Pittsburgh. Yes, they made some moves, but it's a quarterback league. And until you have the quarterback, it doesn't really matter who the coach is.
It doesn't feel like it's a quarterback league anymore, does it?
The muddy middle is the
Tell the teams that don't have one.
I mean, the Texans don't. You could argue the Texans, the Jaguars, the Broncos,
100%
the
confident
Seahawks.
About any of those teams?
You could argue teams in the playoffs don't have quarterbacks. What they have is a really good roster around said quarterback. If you can get you Lamar Jackson, go get Lamar Jackson. If you can get Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, you go get those dudes. But the rest of these quarterbacks, leave me really very unimpressed. Right?
I'd argue it's a coaches league right now.
There you go. Last time Pittsburgh won a Super Bowl, 2008. Last time they lost a Super Bowl, 2010. And since then, it's just been ugly.
I'd put my confidence in 3 teams right now. And I guess I'll actually upgrade it to, maybe more than that. But from looking at the playoffs, because your question of is it a quarterback's league, I agree. Right now, it's not as if we're in a playoff situation where Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and the best quarterbacks are on Lamar Jackson. But you do give an upgrade to what you believe the Bills can be because of Josh Allen. But I give an upgrade to whether it be McVay or Shanahan or watching D'Amico Ryans last night, thinking about Vrabel in New England, there's a lot of emphasis on what a coach can do. And again, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches that the sport has seen. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
But is he that right now? Like, is that where he is right now as a coaching candidate or as the coach of the Steelers? I don't know.
Sometimes
I don't want to
a
be
change of
disrespectful.
scenery. Sometimes a change of scenery helps. I mean, Andy Reid, Philadelphia fans were so done with Andy Reid. He goes to Kansas City and has far more success than he ever had in Philadelphia. So that's the thing. It's sometimes you do just need a change. Routine can be bad. I mean, you know, we've all, you know, if you're lucky enough to have different bosses at times in your career, some you can't stand, some push you to get out of your little space that you're comfortable in and make you push to be better and make you the better for it. And, you know, that's the thing. Is that what Mike Tomlin is bringing these days? Because, you know, the standard right now is just don't have a losing season and get to the playoffs and then be done.
Teresa, before I let you go real quick, your most meaningful outcome of Wild Card Weekend was which game?
Buffalo? I mean, think about it. That push, you know, you're trying to get a 4th and 1 and you almost end up in the end zone. I mean, it was like you know, I've seen cartoons showing it the Buffalo Stampede, but considering these playoffs do not have Patrick Mahomes, no Lamar Jackson. I mean, it just feels like if not now, when for Buffalo? And the problem is the injuries just keep piling up, but that's being said across this league right now. I mean, you know, I heard you talking about the Nico Collins concussion and things like that. So, you know, whoever wins, it's a good team, but it's also the team that survives the most right now. I mean, the NFL is the original survivor. So it's going to be very, you know, they need to strike now because let's not forget back in September, Buffalo, Packers, Indianapolis, those were the teams that jumped out fast and we're thinking, oh, they're going to win the Super Bowl. Packers are done. 21-3 lead blown. I'll just remind, there's some Nashville fans saying, go get Matt LaFleur. Seriously, he was on the sideline for Atlanta when they blew the 28-3 to New England and they blew 21-3 in Chicago. There was no way they should have blown that one. So I say tap the brake, calm down. They're looking and talking to enough people right now. But
Teresa, let them go
Buffalo
get Matt LaFleur.
sees it.
You can trade for Matt LaFleur. The Titans give up a 7th-round pick for Matt LaFleur. Who says no?
Me.
Even me.
I mean,
Teresa, I do like the
they're-
idea of Survivor, though, because it is, wow, goodbye, CJ, outwit, outplay, but what's the most important part of Survivor?
Outlast.
And that is what it
Yes.
comes down to. All right, Teresa, thank you for spending your Tuesday morning with us. In
Pick
spite.
me back up. I got to throw my heart hands up.
Yeah, CJ does have to throw the hard hands up.
All right, CJ, quit trying to trade away picks.
I'll catch up with you next week. That is Teresa Walker, a real gem for joining us on a Tuesday. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Will Coleman joins us every Tuesday to talk the Tigers. And I just saw him walk in, and he has trays in his hand. And that brings me great joy on a Tuesday. More joy than talking about Memphis's loss to FAU. We'll get into all that as CJ screams his face off. And we have squats to do after a quick break. Oh, no.
The world needs B2K.
B2K's breakup was a huge shock to their fans.
Boys for Life Tour.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
when you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Field goal percentage up, 3-point field goal percentage up, points up, rebounds up. How would you describe your second season so far?
I feel like in my head, my standard's a little higher than that. I feel like my percentage should be a lot more up, 3-point percentage a lot more up. But I'll take it. You see the positives and things.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to Grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day.
Who have you leaned on the most in terms of asking questions? Because there's always a fine line, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be the rookie that's annoying people.
Exactly.
On the other hand, you want to be a sponge.
You can ask any of the guys. Like, I'm asking, it'd be random games where I'm sitting next to Ty or Jai or Scotty, and I'm like, hey, bro, what would you would have done right there? Like, what do you feel like you would have did in that situation? Boom, 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 I probably would have did this. I'm like, all right, cool, I got it locked in now.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. The Grizzlies are proud to partner with Prime Global Group, a leader in innovative, socially responsible real estate investment. Discover smart strategies that align with your values at primeglobalgroup.net. We welcome you back on this Tuesday. Every Tuesday we catch up with former Memphis Tiger Will Coleman. When we are lucky, he brings us food. When we are unlucky, the Memphis Tigers have fallen in the net ranking, so we have 106 squats to do. 106
That's not that bad.
squats to do. That's not bad.
Didn't we do like 130?
The first time was
The first
the
time we
worst.
did this, it was like 130, 140.
Okay, they can't keep losing, man.
I mean, they lost to FAU, so that's sad. But first, Will, can we get to the good stuff, which
Yeah.
is whatever great treats you have brought upon us?
Okay, so first we got some of my amazing
Kool-Aid?
homemade. This is blueberry lemonade.
Okay. All right. Blueberry lemonade, homemade.
That's why I text Jess. She was probably busy. I asked if she had some ice. It's a little cool, but this probably tastes best if it's like absolutely chilled.
Okay.
That's
But
fine.
I'm gonna pour y'all up here in a minute.
Blueberry lemonade.
And here I got everybody on a little boat. We just got some simple. I'm a big presentation guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't too happy with.
Can you tilt it towards the
I
camera
wasn't
so
too
we
happy
can
with
see
the
it?
presentation lid. Still, I'm gonna let y'all open it. It's just some Cajun sausage pasta.
Just some Cajun sausage pasta.
Mr. And here's yours, sir.
Oh my God, Will. I could cry. This looks so good.
It's a little warm.
And I really didn't want to cook
It's
today.
warm?
I made a mistake.
William Archibald Coleman.
Is your middle name Archibald?
No.
What's your middle name?
Super white.
It's okay. Give it to us.
Christopher. William
What's my
Christopher
husband's
Coleman.
name?
And he's super white.
And he is also super white.
Pour y'all up right quick.
That's incredible.
Pour y'all
That's
up
so
some-
good. That's so good.
Some good drink
That's
right
so
quick.
good. CJ's about to melt behind you. He's about to do the weird thing where he makes faces that shouldn't be done on a morning television program, but that's okay. Please, CJ or Jacob, put it back on this man. Oh, there's like smoke coming out of it. There's steam coming out of it. This is really good.
Oh my word.
This is like really, really good.
No.
Okay, so this is great.
I'm not eating that.
What's not great? Are you saving it?
I got to get home and savor this.
I messed up. I'm in charge of the grocery shopping this week, and I messed up my groceries. I asked for a pound of salmon to be split in two, so that I could have 2 servings of salmon.
Right.
But I only got 0.57, so I only had 1 thing of salmon, and then it was like a little too much
What
for
is
me
Chris
in one
gonna
night.
eat?
But not. He's busy this week. He's not eating with me this week.
You need some more
I'm
of
in
that?
charge of myself this week. So now I don't have to be in charge of myself, and I can just eat this pasta for lunch and dinner, and that sounds like a grand decision. The blueberry lemonade is
Incredible.
perfectly tart.
Incredible. It's incredible stuff, William.
That's a good one. It's one of your best works. This might be up there.
This,
I gotta be honest. This might be up there.
man,
That's because you
we got
knew.
this.
That's because you knew the Tigers talk was so depressing that you had to come through with something to ease the pain. Because, in your words, abysmal basketball this weekend, Will.
you know, I listened to the press conference
It felt like a press conference.
with Penny, and I mean, he basically he said it, and I know he's probably frustrated with some things, but he's also like, you know, we're out of excuses. Like, it's just time to do what we have to do. And I just don't know if there's there's so many things that you try to think of. I don't know if there's a lack of leadership, if guys just simply don't care. It's hard to pinpoint what's happening and what's going on, because you get down there and you lose to a FAU, and it's just like, man, what is happening? Like, what is going on?
A performance like that, because it wasn't just a loss.
Yeah.
They got beat pretty handedly.
Yeah.
Does that adjust how you view conference play for this team? Or were you expecting it not to be so easy in the American this year?
Honestly, I think it's anybody's game now. I don't know if you call it a newer age basketball, but just in terms of, you know, with recruiting, with NIL, it's the days of dominant conferences are over, in my opinion, especially in conference play. I feel like that's where you get some of your best basketball in conference play, because that's where you feel like, or that's where you truly see a coach come alive. Because when you play in when you get into conference play, there's so many people that have so much time to scout, to watch, to do homework, to look. So a lot of the stuff, you know, that you've put in place before conference play kind of is out the window, because you've had coaches being able to see your mannerisms and things that you run on a regular basis. So drawing up plays, coaching on the fly, and being creative, I think that's what tells. I think that's what's needed with any coach when you get to conference play.
Okay, this is a hard one. It's hard for me to say. Multiple hard conversations around this team. But I'll start with, you're a former Tiger.
Yeah.
So I would assume when you were out and about, people want to talk about the Tigers with you. Do people still want to talk about the Tigers with you?
Yeah. People don't even.
Okay, so I was a little concerned that it had reached a point where people aren't even having the conversations anymore.
No, they're. It's the most common question is, you know, what's going on with our Tigers? I'm just like.
And you say, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just even from someone who is, I guess, somewhat of an analyst at some point, you know, and, you know, a fan and a former player, no matter what angle you look at it, you just don't know what's happening. Because none of us knows what's really going on behind closed doors. I mean, they could really just not, you know, you could have guys that don't care. You could have guys that's clicking and just can't get it together. You could have guys that just hate each other. Like, we don't know what's going on day in and day out. But the most frustrating thing is, you know, listening to people, you know, calling for Penny's job.
Yeah.
And it's just like, because y'all could come in here and cut. That's my biggest frustration, when everybody, fire Penny, fire Penny, fire Penny. You know, be that as it may, if you feel that way, you don't know the slightest thing about coaching basketball. And you got people, I know 3-4 coaches who could come in here and change this program right away. A coach is not going to fill seats. Unfortunately, players and wins fill seats. You know, I don't, you know.
At the end of the day, wins individuals can fill seats temporarily.
Yeah.
Wins fill seats for sustained periods of time. And it is kind of it's odd that the two biggest storylines around basketball in this city right now are the Grizzlies potentially trading John Morant.
Yeah.
And what the Tigers will ultimately do with Penny Hardaway. And neither of those things have surefire ends yet either, but it's just, it's the kind of conversation swirler that takes over a city. And I don't want to, I had this conversation with Gary yesterday. You don't want to conflate the two because they are entirely different situations. But when you're talking about it in the way you just did, I think it really is an important reminder, because there are people who would say, well, if Memphis got rid of Penny Hardaway, I'm never going to a game again. Just like there's people who say, well, if the Grizzlies get rid of John Morant, I'm never going to a game again. But you want to know why people would go to a game again?
Yeah.
If either of those teams started experiencing sustained winning and chasing, postseason success and whatever that version of success looks like, that's sports. And it's so hard. And I think Memphis is such a beautiful city because it feels so passionately about people who have chosen this city, people who believe in the city, people who love this city. The old adage of if you hug this city, it'll hug you back. And Penny being from here and Ja feeling like he very easily could have been from here. And so that's why this adds this layer of discomfort in these conversations.
People get so caught up in and it's not even about sports, right? It's just life in general. People get so caught up and get so blinded by the amount of money that these athletes make. It's scalable, but it's everyday life for everybody. It's just like, man, you average, us average Joes, we go to work every day. Do we wake up every day and we like our manager? No. Do we wake up every day and do we like our supervisor? No. Do you get an email or something from your management and it piss you off? Absolutely. And so I think people, when they see the amount of money these athletes make, it's so easy for them to be like, oh, just suck it up. Look at all that money you're making. But it's like, okay, you may not be in a position or making the money that they make. It's okay. You just suck it up and you just figure it out. You just play. So many people are trying to figure out what's going on with Penny, or so many people trying to figure out what's going on with Ja. Ja, one, can he stay healthy? Or is he happy? Do we like his coach? Do we like management? I mean, there's so many different things that you can look at, but I think so many people get caught up in the amount of money that people make that they just forget that these humans too. And so people make mistakes. People go through lulls. People, I'm sure your jobs and your managers get on to you if you go into Q4 and you're down in sales or however you want to, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but the problem is, from a business standpoint, you get to a point where you're down in Q4 in sales one year.
You got to make
given
changes.
The opportunity to come back the next year. You get to the end of a line and it's like, okay, at what point does a change get made?
And that's all, yeah. And so, and I know, and I can say, and I will say, yes, fans from that standpoint, yeah, we got to do something. We got to make some changes. And you got a guy, me and CJ was talking about it earlier, but you got a guy who's making the amount of money that is supposed to be our superstar. Can we keep him on the floor? You know what I mean?
I was talking to someone this weekend at the Grizzlies game, and they asked, is the solution right now, forget about making a change at coach, and if that happens, it happens. But for a program like a Memphis, could you see where the importance goes back towards building through traditional high school recruiting, as opposed to going out and getting a transfer from the number one player on a team that won 7 games, were the most games that he won at a school. So smaller game, but was a star on that team. Or even if it was someone like a Bradshaw, did not play winning basketball at the program that he was previously at. Is there more value in going and finding that talent from the jump in the high school space?
I think it is, because if you have a coach who's really looking into a guy, and same with my high school coach. I mean, at one point I couldn't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time, but there's a coach that saw potential, and we won a high school championship. But it's like, when you get a player that young, I think you have the ability to mold them or teach them whatever you want to teach them. And when you got these guys who do have all of this experience, sometimes, it's cliche, but sometimes they say, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And so it's kind of like, I think it's a catch-22 there. I think it's a blessing and a curse. If you get a high school player, you got, it could come with immaturity, someone that's young, you're just a youthful guy who really doesn't know much. But at the same time, I think you can teach him and grow through things with him and really get to learn a kid and really form a basketball team around.
Both of the ways we've gone about building teams now have pluses and minuses. So to your question, Jessica and Will, I think you hit a couple of nails on the head. You get this kid in high school, you go out there and you get a top 50 prospect, we'll say.
Yeah.
You get a top 100 or 2 prospect. You get that player good enough, somebody's coming in, Kansas State, Kansas, Michigan State, UCLA, Baylor. Somebody's coming in here, Duke, UNC is saying, hey, you're a sophomore, we like what you see. Come over here with us. We'll double your salary, or we'll pay you 1.5 times what you're making in NIL money at Memphis. And then the kid is looking around like, okay, it's a businessman. I'm a businessman. I got to make a financial decision. So you don't really get to, after developing said player for his season, maybe 2, you lose them either to the NBA or you lose them in the portal to a bigger school with a bigger NIL, bigger school. Just you lose them in the portal to a school with a bigger NIL that's willing to pay them a bit more. And so while I think that the mistake that was made this year from a roster construction standpoint, everybody's new on this roster. Everybody is new. So you're having to adjust. You talk about chemistry and team camaraderie so much. Well, you do an excellent job bringing those points up. But not just that. They're learning a completely new system. Yeah. And you're learning as a coach on the fly, hey, this is what this guy can do with that guy. Or this is what these 2 players do well. I need to find 3 players to put around them. And all you've got is one offseason to figure that out, as opposed to having 2 years, maybe 3 years to figure it out and build that way. It's put an extreme burden on the coaches, all of the coaches in college basketball, but you still got to find, because everybody's playing this way, you still got to find a way to go out there, get the right talent, get that talent developed as quickly as possible, and get them playing winning basketball. Yeah. It's hard from a roster construction standpoint to know which one I would do if I was the Memphis Tigers and Coach Penny Hardaway, because again, you get a high school player, he'll be really good, and then that dude is so good that one of these bigger schools come knocking, if not the NBA. You look at the roster, all the good players from last year, PJ Haggerty gone to Kansas State. You got a couple of players playing in the NBA right now. So it's hard, but you still got to go out there and perform at a high level. You can't be Memphis losing to FAU. You can't. That just can't happen. You can't be that. You can be Memphis losing to undefeated Vanderbilt. You can be Memphis fighting Purdue tooth and nail. You can do that. You can be that program. But the Memphis that's going to go out here and probably lose 6 or 7 games in conference, no, that can't be the case. Not in this conference.
Yeah, it's sad to see, and I'm a advocate for Memphis through and through, and like I said, well, I'm running out of stuff to say, man. Y'all, hey, just back up all my Tigers, man. People go through lows and programs go through lows, and I hate it, but at some point you got to decide, because you see other programs around the nation, killing it, and it's almost like, how much is it talent and how much is it, guys willing to buy in to win? Or if we're just being brutally honest, how much, how much effort are guys willing to put in for the money that they're getting paid? And it's like, when I watch, I know one of my favorite guys, other than Cole Pete, is watching Boozer. He's probably getting paid a bunch of money. You could call him, throw some nepotism in there if you want, because his dad, or however you want it. But the dude is great basketball.
This is where people get off the plot on nepotism, and most people just can't admit that nepotism helps you get a one-up in life. Like, if you just started with that, okay, moving right along, fine. It also prepares you to handle all of the extras that come with being a person who dreams of being a professional basketball player. Like, you are trained from the jump in a way that someone who doesn't have a parent who played the sport,
you watching it, you learning
it, doesn't get it. Like, we talk often, Jaren Jackson Jr. here in Memphis, like, there is a politician-like professionalism to him that always has existed. I'm not talking about on the court play. I'm just talking about how he approaches the game and the business and all that it encompasses. And you look at both of his parents and you understand lessons that were learned in the household. That's where, I was watching the Golden Globes this weekend, and just the idea of so many of these actors who are Nepo babies, but who are really good actors and have made good careers. It's not everyone.
Sanders,
it's not a blanket statement.
Great example.
But yeah, you learn the craft in a different way. And so, yeah, it would make sense that Boozer is a leg up when it comes to just the handling of that sort.
But yes, and I want to piggyback on that, but at the same time, the dude just, man, he's great at basketball.
Yeah, also that. So he's incredibly skilled.
He's so good at his size, putting a ball on the floor, his touch around the rim. I mean, he's just a great basketball player. So even if this could be just a brother from the sticks of Alabama. I don't know where he's from, but I'm just saying he could have emerged from anywhere. But the dude, he's just got undeniable talent. And it's like, it's nothing you can do.
He's like a
about that.
ready-to-win now player.
Yes.
Is he your favorite player to watch right now in college basketball?
Man, 100%. Him and obviously DJ over at BYU is electrifying. Obviously I love
AJ,
Cole.
but yes, I knew where you were going with that. It's okay. His last name's DeBanza, so there is a big D in there.
Obviously I love Koa. And I just gravitate toward, I like watching big men, especially the evolution of big men, because back when I played out, man, Parsons was like, man, catch the ball and dunk it. Hook shot. Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah,
one power drill, boom, jump stop, hook.
That's it.
Drop step, bow into another hook.
Man, he had me right. There's another guy I work with all the time. His name was Matt Dunn. He had me. I felt like I was at my peak with my hook shot when we was playing Ole Miss in the NIT, and I took 2 dribbles to the middle and I shot a left-hand hook shot. That thing was damn near from the free throw line with the left. I'm right-handed. That joint went in. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm on right now. I'm on right now. I'm feeling good. But
well, thanks to you, we'll be feeling good the rest of the day. I had to put a lid on the pasta so I wouldn't keep eating it because I really do need it for 2 meals.
I made some grouper that's going to pair perfectly with this.
Oh, I might put a little shrimp in it.
Hey man, did you tear up that?
I have a little shrimp.
Did you tear up that the grill?
The smoker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in pieces. It's in shambles. I ran over it several times with my car.
What were you just in? What was wrong with it?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. It was just hard to fit together. It made me mad. So as I was putting together, I decided I was going to break it to smithereens.
Have you ever put something together that has been so frustrating that you just wanted to break it?
Just throw it away. Yeah.
I mean, every piece of IKEA furniture that I've ever... marriages are tested through the construction of IKEA furniture.
Yeah,
I had a futon that I bought and started putting it together and just got frustrated. It was like, no, I'm not putting that together. And so I just threw the whole box away. $200 futon. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Get out. Whatever. My peace of mind, my sanity is worth more than comfort.
No, I'm good. All right, well, thanks for joining us as always. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to the part of the show that I've been waiting for all day.
What show are you talking about?
Heated Rivalry.
Everybody talking about his and hers is really good too.
I just started that as well.
I got to start that.
I have a bone to pick with that show though. I think it's good. I think it's going to be the talked about show of the month.
Okay.
It's the new Netflix show.
All right. Okay.
But anytime local news is depicted in a dramatic way on television, it is so frustrating. I can't get past it. But I recommend it.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk about that, Golden Globes, all that and more on the other side.
CJ.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Welcome back on this Tuesday as we do some TV Tuesday. And before we get into Golden Globes talk, we weren't able to get into that yesterday. Busy Monday show, so we'll go through all the best and the worst from the Golden Globes. But I did want to take a moment and get into what we are watching, or what I watched yesterday, which was Heated Rivalry. And CJ, what a show. I get it now. I have seen the light. I understand what many told me, which was, you have to watch Heated Rivalry. And I said, And I watched the first 2 episodes, and I was kind of like, And then I hit episode 3, and there was no turning back.
So we talked in
episode 3 is not I don't know what episode you're talking about.
Listen, some pops off of either episode 3 or 4 and had everybody who I was encountering on my social media feeds like, oh my gosh, they were thirsting one of those 2 episodes.
I mean, you could thirst a lot. I do think the show goes from being a little shock value novelty-ish into just like an incredibly charming, well-done romance story. And I'm not usually someone who seeks out romantic stories. This started as a book. Like, the show was adapted based on a book series that took off. Like, women loved this book. This show is for the girls and the gays. If you're a straight man who loves this show, congratulations, you're cool. It is not made for straight men, though. Like, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. It is not made for you. If you enjoy it, I think you have a level of artistic appreciation that more men should have. However, it's not made for you, it's made for us. And the creator of the show I found fascinating. His name's Jacob Tierney, so he made the show based off of these books. He's the guy who did Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like, in terms of just random, this person did this and this, the creator of Heated Rivalry was also the creator of Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which is incredible.
I watched an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode last Monday. Over there in the office space. I was like, let's put on a Are You Afraid of the Dark episode. Okay, so that guy did Heated Rivalry?
He did Heated Rivalry.
Oh, boy.
The stars of the show have absolutely taken off. Hudson Williams and Connor Story are all over the place right now. They were at the Golden Globes.
They got good chemistry?
Great chemistry. Their chemistry is great, and then there's a secondary couple on the show. All the chemistry, like even from the friends, the family, the teammates, I think it's just a really well-cast show, and it's a bunch of, like, for lack of a better word, nobody knew these actors until the show, and now they've taken off. And the week it debuted, it had like 30 million streaming minutes on HBO Max, which doesn't even make it into the top 50 of streamed shows for that week. But by December 26th, which is when the 6th episode came out, which was the finale, that number went up to 324 million. So like, this show went from very few people, this is a very niche audience, to it's everywhere. Like, the cultural relevancy of Heated Rivalry right now is stunning, like rapid growth. And I found myself almost comparing it to like other projects that nobody thought were going to be as big as they were, but they took over different communities. Like I think about the Barbie movie. Like that was also not made for.
We thought that movie was gonna be huge.
Not that big.
Well, nobody thinks movies are gonna be billion-dollar movies. But that movie, we had been on Rise and Grind. We had been talking about Barbie
when it was
movie
coming out, but it was
like
really
2
more,
years before it came out.
Yeah, but what were we talking about with it?
You guys
Does this movie need to be made?
Yeah.
Is this going to be good? I don't have trust in whatever the Barbie movie is. And then it became like a movie for women that women loved and others loved too. I thought about most recently, like people did not expect the box office success of Sinners, and Sinners took over the box office. It was one of the biggest hits of the year in film. K-pop Demon Hunters was put out, that's anything that someone thought was going to become like the sweep of the animated movie awards at all of the movie awards coming up, but also just something that was so big that they had to make a band to sing the songs after the movie came out because they didn't anticipate it to be that huge.
Napoleon Dynamite.
I mean, that's a long way back.
It is a long way
back.
back.
Something that took over culture.
To your point, took over culture, started off slow, and then just took over all of a sudden. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was another cast of people we were unfamiliar with.
Yes.
Of the ones that you've named outside of K-pop Demon Hunters.
Those people have familiar
Margot,
actors. Yeah.
What's her name?
Robbie.
There we go.
And Michael B. Jordan.
And
Kugler at that point
Kugler.
is known to make good things.
Yes.
And Greta Gerwig, who made Barbie, is known to make good things. Are You Afraid of the Dark was great, but no one's like, oh yeah, Jacob Tierney was guaranteed. Jacob Tierney making this random Canadian hockey show about
so they're Canadian.
Players. One is Canadian, one is Russian.
Oh, okay.
But the show is Canadian.
Okay.
Like it's from a Canadian studio.
Oh, okay.
So it was very small. Like it didn't cost a lot of money to make the show. But yes, the two main characters are like the 1 and 2 picks in the draft the year that they're drafted into the fake professional hockey league that is represented because, for some reason, I don't think the NHL wanted their brand, which is their loss. But it's a Russian and a Canadian, and they play against each other. And basically, how over the years they go from having a casual relationship, and it grows into something more, and they have to grapple with the secrecy of being closeted in professional sports. And it's just a great little show.
So it's not all one hockey season.
No,
it's
and that was my issue with the show early. It jumps a lot. It'll be like Moscow 2012, Montreal fall of 2012, New York summer of 2013, the Sochi Olympics winter of 2014. So it was a lot of jumping. But then it finally settles into itself and you realize it's just a matter of trying to show like how long this thing has been baking under the surface and on the surface. But like how they take the incremental steps forward in other people in their lives being privy to what is going on within their lives. It's very sweet. It's just a really good show.
Okay.
It's a lot of action, boss.
Let's go.
It's all about that action.
All right.
So
let's get into it.
If you don't like raunchy shows, it made me think of like when Gossip Girl came out and it was such a big deal that they were using such like sex-forward marketing with the show, and it was like parents don't want their kids to watch this show. This would be the same thing, but like, you'll get over it. It's fine. They're human bodies.
What the man be
you don't
looking
see the
like?
heart. You don't see it.
What do the men look like?
What do they look like as like in their entirety?
Let's go.
They're
Are they okay? Are they sexy?
Ripped. Yeah, of course.
Okay. Like they like.
You're not gonna call a show Heated Rivalry.
But listen, sometimes,
roll
man,
out
we
some
we
casuals here.
We put a couple of respectfully fuglies out there, right? Like you guys say what you want to. I understand my man is chiseled and got nice arms. And you look at him, you're like, okay, I feel safe in those arms. I understand that. But whatever the actor is of the bear, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Butterface. Butterface. Like, come on.
No, he just has like a scrunched, tortured face.
Okay.
These men are like conventionally
like
white
sexy.
attractive. Yes,
all right.
yes, all of them. Anyway, it's a fun little show and really enjoyed finishing it yesterday. I did start His and Hers, which is the Tessa Thompson, and I always forget the actor's name.
Oh, that's the show she's in.
What's his name? John
Mellencamp.
B. It starts with a B. He's in King Richard randomly. That's what I always associate him with. Anyway, it's Netflix's new show. I think it'll kind of take over the
what is it?
talked about space. It's a murder. It's a murder mystery.
Oh, I got you.
It's a cop. He plays a sergeant, sheriff, county sheriff. She plays a local news journalist trying to get her job back. But I love her. She's great. All right. The Golden Globes happened over the weekend, and we didn't really have a chance to talk about them. Did you watch them at all, CJ? I know you are not an award show person. You saw clips, though, I'm sure. I'm not going to guess. What was the number one thing that you saw discourse-wise coming out of the Golden Globes?
You know what it was?
The disrespect for sinners continues.
Oh, no, that was number 2.
Okay. What was the number 1?
The D-O-double-G being high.
Oh, that wasn't the most.
That was the one I saw the most.
He did show up again. I was like,
I saw that one, him being high and Amy Poehler winning Best Podcast. Those were the 2 things from the show that I saw the most. And then Sinners being snubbed was third.
It wasn't just that they were snubbed. It's just like the continued shots of disrespect. They did the Best Score award during a commercial break. It was the only award that was given out during the commercials. And it won Best Score because the score that Ludwig, what's his last name? Whatever, Ludwig Goodhair, composer for Sinners, and ultimately about to do the score for the Odyssey movie coming out, and I'm very excited for that. But he won it during the commercial break, so you didn't even see a speech. You didn't see one of the wins for Sinners. Sinners did win like Best Box Office Hit of the Year, which the Golden Globes started doing as a category maybe like 2 years ago, but to try to give an award for...
Was that after Barbie?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that is what started that, because it wasn't getting the Best Movie award, but they still wanted a category for a film that moved people to go to movie theaters, which is fun, like cool. Give them that award because a lot of people went and saw Sinners in theaters. But I did realize, as a Sinners fan, but also a fan of this year in movies, period, it's a really good year for movies. Like, in terms of movies that I will watch again, I would do Sinners, I would do One Battle After Another, and I would do Marty Supreme, honestly. And Hamnet won Best Drama. Hamnet won... I was surprised that Sinners was in the dramatic category. I would have put it in the comedy musical. Not because it's a comedy, it's a horror movie. But the musical part of it, I would have really leaned onto that. But I guess then you're up against One Battle After Another. Doesn't matter when you get to the Oscars. Hamnet's a movie that I really liked. I would never watch again because it ripped my heart out and stomped it into a million trillion pieces. But all 3 of those movies are great. I think they'll split a handful of awards throughout the award season, which makes it fun because you're not assured what's going to win what. But Ryan Coogler should have won Best Screenplay. I'm just saying.
What's up with Best Podcast? How we get in there?
I don't want it.
You don't want Best Podcast anymore?
I don't want Best Podcast to be an award.
No, we need Jacob. Show me Best Podcast. Like we could win this.
Not more podcasts.
We can get this. Well, yeah, make less of them. Absolutely. I don't need every bozo with a microphone and access to the internet. Throw it. Hey, Jacob, you got to move it over a little bit so we can see it because we don't see it.
Jacob asked who's watching Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. I've long given up on that show because there's just something that doesn't sit right.
What is Armchair?
He's been doing, it's an interview series. But he just had Cher on. Ooh. And I watched a compilation video of Cher just like owning him with sass over and over and over again. And it was really beautiful. Call Her Daddy is obviously the Alex. Not Alex. Yes, Alex. I always get Alex Earl and Alex Cooper. Alex Cooper. I get their last names, and there's too many Alexes. Alex with an I, Alex with an E. Anyway, Alex Cooper's podcast, Good Hang with Amy Poehler won, the Smartless podcast, the Mel Robbins podcast. She's like a self-help guru.
Okay.
The one who does the let them theory.
No clue. What's that?
It's like going through life with the, I don't know, the understanding that you just have to let them and like not let their actions impact you. It's like big life coach stuff.
Yeah, why would anybody let what somebody else does impact
them? And then Up First, which is NPR's podcast. And Chris asked me why. I listen to The Daily every day from the New York Times. And Chris was like, why don't you listen to NPR? Why do you listen to The Daily? And I said, because I hate myself. Because I hate myself. But yeah, we could get in there.
We can get in there.
We could get in there. I think we could do it.
You don't need it, but like it'll be nice.
I think it would be okay. I thought Nikki Glazer's monologue was very funny. She went after CBS on CBS, which that's what I want for my comedians. Yeah. Like have those ballsy moments. Like, don't be afraid to make that joke.
Okay.
Tiana Taylor's speech started the night, her win for supporting actress.
I did
her
see that.
Dress.
Tiana Taylor. I don't care if she...
Big moment for those of us who were obsessed with her, my Super Sweet 16 episode back in the day.
Don't care if she has a farting problem. That's a beautiful woman. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
The dress was everything.
Yes.
There were some really good looks throughout the night.
The other thing I saw, Wanda Sykes.
I had that on my best of. Wanda Sykes was excellent. She presented for Best Comedy Special. She had a great joke. I actually thought her joke on Kevin Hart was really, really funny.
Yeah.
But she accepted the award for Ricky Gervais, and since he wasn't there, she thanked God and the trans community.
Yeah.
And she did it twice. It was good. The worst of the night, no clips. I hate an award show without clips. I watch award shows for clips.
Okay.
Please give me clips. The music. I'm surprised that didn't cross. The music was crazy. I was fine with it. At first, I thought it was kind of fun.
Like the out music?
Like the in and out music when actors were walking onto the
Okay.
stage and walking off. It was like a 2000s bar mitzvah.
Oh, what?
Yes. Or like a middle
What a
school
specific
dance.
time and
What a specific party.
event.
But that's like exactly where my brain went. People started kind of like raising their eyebrows. They played Yeah for Stellan Skarsgård accepting Best Supporting Actor. I thought they had some good ones with Macaulay Culkin. They played Return of the Mac. It's Macaulay Culkin, so I thought that was clever. And then for Judd Apatow, they played APT, and his name's Apatow. So I was like, that's cute. And then it kept getting worse and worse. And then finally we got to Adolescence one for limited series.
I hope they played R. Kelly song.
They played Off With Your Head.
Turn up.
And like Adolescence is about, I don't know, a murder.
A child murdering another child.
Dance, dance till you're dead. I was like, that's an odd choice. Anyway, that was and they did Poly Market betting, and I was like, we're so toast. We are cooked as a society. Evergreen tweet. All right. I hope everyone has a great rest of your Tuesday. CJ has a pit meeting to get to. We'll be back tomorrow on a
I don't
Wednesday.
know what more they can want from me.
Can't ask for anything else.
You're the one up here thirsting over the dudes in heated rivalry.
I'm respecting the craft.
Okay. All right. So
They were asked
what I
some
need
really
to do.
weird questions. On the their press circuit has been odd.
What's weird?
Protect them.
What do you mean weird?
Because people are like, I don't know. It's just weird to ask them what it's like to do the thing, you know?
I mean, but B Jordan and old girl.
Yeah, we're weird about people.
Oh, we're weird
I would
about
say, like,
we're weird about
collectively,
just
we're
sex
weird.
in general.
Yes,
Gotcha.
I think that's a more
Okay.
appropriate way.
All right, because
People
they were
don't
asked,
know how to
they were
talk
asked
about
some
it
questions
normally.
also.
That was people were mad that Haley Steinfeld was at the Golden Globes. They're like, why isn't she at the Bills playoff game?
What?
And I'm like, because she has a job of her own.
Because she may potentially be awarded.
And she's pregnant. Not that that makes a difference, but like, she looked great.
Yeah.
She accepted, she presented, she accepted, all the things. Anyway, have a great Tuesday, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.